3-minute rounds. Between and introducing, firstly, fighting out of the red corner and coming from Dublin, he weighed in at 11 stone, 1 3/4 pounds. He has a perfect record as a professional, being undefeated in 7 contests, 3 wins by way of KO. Would you please welcome the Pink Panther, Jim Rock. And his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, across the ring in the blue corner, wearing the red trunks trimmed with white, coming from the Manchester and the Phoenix camp. He weighed 11 stone, 1 3/4 pounds, and has a 24-fight professional record. 17 wins, 30 by way of KO with 7 losses. He's the current light middleweight champion of Great Britain and Intercontinental champion, Ensley Bingham. Your timekeeper for this contest, Mr. Colin Roberts, the referee, Mr. Tony Green of Sheffield, and this is 8 3-minute rounds.
Well, this is an intriguing little fight with Ensley Bingham, the British light middleweight champion, boxing on home territory from Manchester in the red trunks, up against the 26-year-old Dubliner who calls himself the Pink Panther, Jim Rock, unbeaten in 7 so far, but moving into a completely different league here against one of the biggest single-hit punchers in British boxing. Bingham's left hook is legendary. Rock will be doing his very best to stay out of the way of it, but it will be a huge win for Jim Rock, who's from the Brendan Ingle camp. If he could win this, it would really project him forward a long, long way. It's a gamble they're taking, but he's 26, and I suppose they've taken the view they might as well let him get on with it.
Yes, I think this is a confident step. It's certainly a big step for Jim Rock. He is going in against a very big puncher. He's got to use all of his boxing skills to try and bridge that gap in experience.
Rock not looking overawed at all, getting in with a couple of decent right hands. Ensley Bingham laboured last time out against Nicky Thurbin in a British title fight, but he eventually got the job done with his power in the very last round. Beaten in a world title fight, of course, Bingham as well, by the excellent Ronald Winky Wright. All his dreams evaporated on that occasion, but Wright, of course, is a class act, so perhaps he shouldn't really take that too hard. Still make money, Bingham, but he certainly couldn't afford to come unstuck here, could he, Glenn?
No, he couldn't. He's going to have a good win here. For Rock, it's a big fight for him. He's going to be very confident. He took this step, so he must feel that, you know, he has a very good chance in doing so, and this really would push him up the rankings, and yeah, he'd be one to watch if he could get a good win here.
Big step up in class for Jim Rock. The nickname, by the way, Pink Panther, was given to him by one of his early trainers. It's quite a good gimmick. Why didn't you think of that, Glenn?
Well, I've heard of a few Hurricanes and Warriors and all that, but nobody, I heard anybody else want to be called the Pink Panther.
I think we said it before, you've got to be good to have a nickname like that getting in the ring. Comes into the theme music as well from the film. You have to be of a certain age to remember that as well. Peter Sellers in it. Good right hand from Rock there. Certainly no pussycat when he gets in there. Decent first round from him here. Bingham may just be biding his time and taking a look.
Yes, Rock started the better. He was busier and some nice punches.
It was a confident first round. Ensley Bingham from the Phoenix camp, Billy Graham's thriving organisation in inner city Manchester. Bingham himself does a bit of corner work when he's not actually fighting. He always looks in shape, Ensley. He's #4 contender for the European title at the moment, which is currently vacant. There are paydays out there for him.
Well, Rock started the better. He was getting his jab working. He was a decent right hand and then found it with the left there. Scraped the chin with the right. But it was good enough just to keep Ensley Bingham busy and enough for Rock to win the round.
Round 2.
Second round, Ensley Bingham, 34 years of age now, in the red trunks and the trademark pink of Jim Rock. It's a brave decision by Rock's people to let him in with Bingham, but they obviously feel it's a gamble worth taking. Working well with his jab there too, looking compact and tight and useful early on here, but of course it's always a big moment in any Ensley Bingham fight when he explodes that honey punch of his, the left hook.
I think Bingham is sometimes a slow starter, and it takes a while to really get into gear or find the range and get his punches on. I think really that's what Rock's people will be trying to capitalize on. Just keep him busy, keep him off balance, and you'll keep working. And if you can do it behind the jab with your hands up nice and tight, then you've got a chance.
Jab, but a counter back from Bingham. There he goes with the left hook. That one whistles past the chin of Rock.
Bingham just act out of distance, just trying to find the range to get the left hook on, and that's where Rock has to, from the outside, keep him busy. Don't let him find his balance, because that's what he's looking for. He's looking for the left hook.
And all the time, look how high Jim Rock is holding that right glove of his to block that punch. It's good work from Rock. He's thought about his strategy here, and so far he's acquitted himself very well moving into this higher league, but there's a long way to go. I suppose at this stage at 34, Ensley's not going to be getting any better, and I don't think we're doing him any disservice by saying that. You'd say it about any fighter, wouldn't you?
That's right. He's mature. He's probably, you hit his peak. Obviously he wants to stay up there, and you'll get some paydays and earn some money. But you know, when you get up there, you know, when you're 34, you wonder there's maybe just one way to go from there, and it's down.
It's worth restating here that Bingham's British title isn't on the line. He's in with an Irishman here, so it couldn't be. And in any case, this match was made above the light middleweight limit, a couple of pounds ahead of it at 11 stone 2.
Well, Rock's handled himself quite well in this round also.
Well, only 7 fights so far for Jim Rock. He's beaten people like Danny Quaco and George Richards, who's a cagey Midlander. And last time out, he beat one of the Commonwealth Games representatives from the Gambia, Robert Niger. Not names that have made any headlines in the professional business so far, you understand, but he's done nothing wrong.
No, he's done nothing wrong, and again, it wasn't a bad second round. He's just not allowing Bingham to get into the right range to get his left hook on. Bingham just landing with a couple of jabs there, but for me, Rock was just slightly busier, enough to get him the round, just keeping his boxing together well. And Bingham's just got to up the pace. He's got to do more. He's got to try and be busier.
Said he was from the Brendan Ingle camp. I know that they've got John Breen in the corner, so I guess he must be training over in Ireland at the moment, Jim Rock. He's certainly done a lot of training with Brendan Ingle in Sheffield, but clearly not for this one. Here's round 3. Quite an absorbing, fascinating battle this, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's really all about if Bingham can make the breakthrough. If he can get through the boxing, we've got to look at Rock, and you know, probably the plan behind this. He's 26, so he's not a young man. So I think maybe that's why they think we've got to act quickly. He's just picked up a cut on the cheek Rock there.
Shouldn't be too much of a problem for him. He's working well with that jab, Rock. Always the question, too, has to be asked, really, with Ensley Bingham. He did take a bit of a systematic pounding from Ronald Wright that night. How much that took away from him.
Well, you would think it would have certainly taken a lot out of him. He had a rest after that, but that was a hard lesson in what world class is all about, and he was in with a very good fighter in Ronald Wright.
It would have been demoralizing, I think it's fair to say, for him. Of course, Wright did that as well to his stablemate, Steve Foster, and to Adrian Dodson. Staying busy, Rock, and maybe so far just edging it on work rate. Agree, Glenn?
I would agree. I think he's just doing slightly more. Bingham has tried to up the pace in this round, but Rock just getting there, you know, just beating him to the punch time and time again. And I think Bingham just needs to try and do more. He's got to up the work rate, move through the gears.
Of course, what Rock is bringing in here, bear in mind he is inexperienced, is a lot of hunger and ambition. This is a huge, huge night for him. Could lead him to some quite important places if he can do it. Rock is on top at the moment, but he cannot afford to get careless because Bingham has that equalizer.
Yes, he's cagey, Rock. He's just pushing the punches out there, just beating Bingham to the punch. And I can see Bingham at this point must be starting to get frustrated. He's got to try and find a way in.
Rock's round again. Well, the slightly surprising news in this one is that Jim Rock, on the right of the picture, is giving Ensley Bingham all the trouble that he wants.
Yes, he is. Maybe he's looked at Rock's record and just took this one somewhat lightly. He needs to. Billy Graham needs to get him there, give him a toy to get him to motivate himself more. He's got to try and do more. He's got to try and find a way in. He just looks as if he's waiting to try and land the big left hook, trying to find a way in. He's got to try and work for the openings. He's got to can't forget his jab, and this is what Rock's doing well. He's keeping the punches going, just doing more throughout the round.
And Ensley Bingham so far just looking a little flat by comparison. Here's round 4 of this non-title 8-rounder, but you don't have to stick a championship label on every fight to make it interesting.
So that's how I've got it with Bingham losing all the way here. He needs to do something, needs to get busier.
Jim Rock's confidence will be growing. Football terms, it's a bit like a team who've been playing well in the Vauxhall Conference being moved in with a Division 1 team and finding that they're doing pretty well.
And that was nicely done from Rock. Just got his way out of the corner, but on the way back there, he's the one that's looking to land with the jabs. And just made Bingham look bad there as he threw the left hook and missed.
I think Bingham might have just taken this a little lightly. He looks a shade undermotivated, doesn't he, for what isn't a championship fight. Everything to lose, not much to gain for him, other than the money.
Yes, I think that's the problem with this fight. There's nothing really for him to go for, and he's certainly fighting like that. It looks hard for him in there. It looks as if he's not enjoying it, can't find his rhythm, can't get the shots off.
His careers can come a cropper on nights like this. Bingham has to lift himself here, though. He will hold on to his British Championship no matter what happens, but his marquee value will be diminished if he loses to a fellow in only his 8th pro fight, no matter how well Rock is performing.
Good work with the jab from Rock, but the right hand finally got through from Bingham.
And I think that just wobbled Rock a little. Was that a turning point for Bingham? He just seemed to quiver in the legs as Bingham's right hand got home, and Ensley Bingham will not need any other invitations to come forward and explode a few more. It had all been going well for Jim Rock, but now he just may be facing a dodgy period. Another right hand gets through.
Well, this is where we find out what Rock's made of, because this is where, when you get caught off a punch, the doubts start to come in. And he's just got to get back to his game plan, keep busy and outwork Bingham.
Well, the tide may have just started to turn.
Well, Bingham just found the way through with the right hand.
That was the shot, wasn't it? Look at the legs.
That was a good one, a straight punch. He may have been waiting for the left hook, but it was a straight right hand from Bingham that got through. And he just went into a little bit of panic there, he thought, Rock. Tried to match him for jabs, left the gap, and that was a well-timed shot from Bingham.
Rock will need that minute. This is the test of what it's about at this higher level for him, though, whether he can overcome these little mini crises and go on to prevail. A key moment and maybe a key round in his career coming up. Fifth round. Bingham has moved up a gear. Oh, he's caught with another right hand, Rock. Just looking disorganized for a moment. And now Bingham is turning this much more into a brawl. Rock looked happy behind his jab, working on the outside.
Well, this is where Bingham has to try and test the nerve of Rock. He's got to put him under fire, see what he's like, how he takes the shots. He's very inexperienced, and really this is where Bingham can capitalize.
Well, he's been swimming in the pond. Welcome to the ocean, Jim. Oh, there's the left hook. He took that well, Rock. And he may need a chin of Rock as well. What a good fight this is.
It is a good fight, and a real test of character from Rock to try and come back. He's took a couple of good shots, and this is where we find out what he's all about.
Just fighting in spurts a little, though, Bingham. Just giving Rock some respite, and he's got back to his work behind that jab again. But you wonder when the next crisis is on the way, don't you?
Well, he's doing the right thing, Rock. He's keeping Bingham busy. He's keeping him off balance, outworking him. And this is good. This is how he gets the rounds. And this is how he keeps Bingham off balance.
No, he blocked those shots, Bingham. Looking to just weaken Rock with some body punches. Bingham will certainly know where Rock is coming from, won't he? He's been there. He's been a journeyman for quite a lot of his career, Ensley. It's only latterly that he's acquired a sort of celebrity status of sorts.
Yes, he knows that Rock has all the motivation in this fight to do well. He's coming to try and, you know, steal Ensley's place in the list. But this has been a good round for Rock. He's worked hard. He's tried to up the tempo again and match Bingham, and he's just quelled a little work rate from Bingham in that round. I think Rock, for me, in that one.
He's definitely ahead on the scorecards.
Yes, I've got him pulling away very well. I think 4 rounds to 1, I go with Rock.
But will the scorecards be deemed irrelevant? That's always the question, isn't it? Will we need the scorecards or just a referee who can count to 10?
That can often happen, even at the very end, as it did in his last fight with Nicky Thurbin. When he was behind then he pulled it all out when he needed to do so.
Caught on the forehead by that left hand. He seemed all right from that. Oof, and that was an Ensley special, and good chin. He's never been on the floor, Jim Rock.
Yes, he took that one quite well. He needs to have a good chin if you're in with Ensley Bingham.
Seconds out, round 6.
Just 3 rounds to go, and Bingham needs a big finish, you feel here. He may have only won 1 round so far. Just depends how referee Tony Green is seeing it. Bingham means some serious business here. He's throwing these punches now with some evil intention. It's a very, very good effort, this, from Jim Rock, whatever may happen from this point.
Well, Bingham got through with 2 quality jabs a little while ago, and he needs to get that jab working better. That's the punch he's got. If he gets his jab working, it helps get you in distance to get his left hook on. Billy Graham was shouting in the corner a little while ago. I think he wants more work from Bingham.
Yeah, they're a bit worried about the tape coming loose on Jim Rock's left glove. Don't want that flapping into the eye. Hence the brief stoppage. Any little moments of respite really are in Rock's favour, you'd feel, at this point, wouldn't you?
Yes, it would just give him a breather, just let him assess the situation. He just needs to keep doing what he's doing. He's got to keep busy on the jab, just trying to beat Bingham to the punch and outwork him.
And this is an inordinately long delay. This is almost longer now than the gap between the rounds, isn't it?
This is a long delay. They're just having trouble there. Nobody's got the fingernail to try and get that tape apart.
Well, they might have to send somebody out down to the shops the way things are going. Goodness me.
They give up on it in the end.
Eventually, this 6th round continues. I'm sure Bingham's been told by that corner, hey, watch out here, because you could end up losing this if you're not careful. And Bingham getting him with some good left hooks to the body. Rock trying to stay with him, punch for punch. Oh, great right hand again from Bingham, and didn't Rock take that well?
Well, Bingham getting through more now, but still just with the occasional single punch. He's got to try and put punches together. He needs combinations.
Well, Ensley Bingham will not want an unscheduled defeat, and certainly not in Manchester, of all places, his home city.
Yes, that would really be disaster for Bingham. He needs a good win here. He wants to get himself back in the bigger picture. And a win here, a loss here would be disaster.
It took him 9 years to become British champion, Ensley Bingham. That's how hard he worked to get there. Good left hook to the body from Bingham, who's winning this round, I feel. Rock is showing fair old resilience, though.
Let him out. Break the fight.
Well, I think that at this point you've got to say it's a great effort from Jim Rock. You may have expected him being somewhat overawed, but he's handled the occasion well.
He's justified the gamble, hasn't he?
He has. He's done it well.
Ensley Bingham will have closed up the scorecards a little, I think, in that last round. He did most of the significant punching.
Yes, the better work in that round was from Bingham. There's the good double jab. He's got to try and use that more. But he's just upping his work rate, just starting to loosen into the fight more, get his punches off.
Success rate, economy rate, 31%, the pair of them. More landed by Rock so far, according to the computer. I hasten to add that the computer is operated by humans, of course.
Round 7.
Doesn't make its own decisions, just in case you were wondering. Here's the 7th round. Bingham, the British light middleweight champion in those red trunks, and the so-called Pink Panther Jim Rock hurt by a right hand. And another one. This is Bingham in top gear, and Rock has to get through this, and he doesn't. It stopped. It stopped in the 7th round, and was that a little on the premature side from Tony Green? Rock thinks so, and I'm inclined to agree with him.
I would certainly agree. I thought it was premature. It was very good the way Bingham upped his pace, got through the punches, knew he had to do something special, did it, but it was very quick, and I think Jim Rock, with an excellent effort, should have been given a little more of a chance than that.
Very unfortunate, that, really, for Jim Rock. But Bingham has the victory. He's pulled it out again. There was a time in that fight, if you'll excuse the pun, where he seemed to be stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yes, it didn't look as if he was going to find the punches. There's the right hand over the top, which staggered the legs. He knew he had to do something now, Bingham. Steps up, good punches going in. The body shot looked as if it hurt Rock. But then there's a good left hook there. He's at sea at this point, Rock. But I didn't think it was bad enough to stop it. I think he should have been given the benefit of the doubt there. We should have seen a little bit more, see how he handled the pressure. It was just a bit too quick for me.
Often in the past, you and I, Glenn, have said that referees should have stopped fights, that they've been allowed to go along too long. I think that was really bearing how much was on the line for Jim Rock and how well he was doing and how competitive he'd been in that fight. I think I would say that was a premature stoppage. He deserved a few more seconds there.
Yes, we just see there on the slow motion. The last two punches didn't even connect when he was rescued, so I know referees are always looking for the safety, and that's obvious. That's what we all want. But I think, you know, Jim Rock was maybe hard done by.
Ensley has played his get out of jail card again.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 22 seconds of round 7, the referee stops the contest. Jim Rock in no position to continue. The winner, Ensley Bingham. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you'd like to show your appreciation to a very good competitive opponent. Please, your appreciation, Jim Rock.